I sit in class trying to pay attention, but I can't stop daydreaming. I can't stop thinking about the way Hieronymous had kissed me, the way he had almost begged me not to leave, even though we both knew that we had to get back to our own separate roles. He had to carry on the noble role of the Viscount, and I had to sit in class and learn. Honestly, I wasn't quite sure. I couldn't pay attention when the image of a shirtless Hieronymous kept coming unbidden into my mind. Tori, Miss Minchin scolds, would you like to share what you have learned with the class? What I learned? I repeat blankly. About proper communication, she repeats, narrowing her eyes at me. Oh, sure, I say, rambling off whatever comes to the top of my mind first. Okay, so, when you're communicating, it's important for you to say what you really feel. It's important for you to be authentic. People can easily tell if you don't really believe what you're saying. At the same time, what you say is just as important as how you say it. You don't want to be too upfront with people because that can be seen as rude. You have to find a balance between authenticity and tact. I pause as I look up at her. Does that satisfactorily answer your question, Miss Minchin? She purses her lips and seems to make a decision about something, but her mouth twists into a saccharine smile. Right as always, dear. It is clear that you have a firm grasp on the social cues required of high society. Now, if only the other students would be able to glean half your smarts, then maybe they would all be able to find good husbands as well. I just sit back in my chair, doing my best not to slouch. Hopefully, now that I answered her question, she would let me daydream about a shirtless Hieronymous in peace. When I get back to my room later that day, there's a letter from Virginia and Beige waiting for me. I decide to open Beige's first. Tori. Sorry for my late reply. The school system here is much more overbearing than it ever was at Iris Academy. I really miss being able to just hang out with people and socialize in clubs and stuff. There's nothing like that here, which is probably why my parents let me spend at least 1 year in America. I asked about Ellen and was told that it wasn't any of my business, so I'm sorry I don't have any information for you. I would tell you to ask Hieronymous, but he probably doesn't know either. You're not supposed to talk about stuff like that. I hope you're doing well. Write to me soon. Beige. I can't help but smile in spite of myself. At least he tried to get me an answer. I hadn't expected much, but it was the thought that counted. Idly, I put the letter aside as I focus on Virginia's letter. Tori. No, I've never seen a girl with weird marks on her stomach at Iris Academy. And what did you mean when you asked me how to get a look at a girl's stomach? Are you into girls now? I don't think Grabby would be very happy to learn he has to share you. In my very limited experience, the best way to ask a girl to get her shirt off is to just ask her to take it off. Do you go swimming? If they have a bathing suit, it might show it. Or, if they're self-conscious about it, they might cover it up. That could be a clue. Are there any situations in which you could all change together? I'm not there, so I have no idea how things work. Since I'm guessing the asking a girl to take her top off question is somehow linked to a girl with weird marks on her stomach, I would just give myself a rash or a burn or whatever weird mark you're talking about on my arm and then ask a girl if she has any marks like that. If she does, you win. If not, they'll probably just think you're a weirdo. Not like they're wrong in that department. Keep me posted. You know I live for your drama. V. I can't help but giggle as I read her letter, shaking my head back and forth as I gnaw on my lower lip. She really was my best friend, and I hated that the last few months I could have spent being friends with her were wasted on all the drama with Ellen and Musette. I quickly pick up my pen and begin to write back. Virginia, you are such a loser. No, I'm not into girls. I'm not into anyone besides Grabby, the sexiest, smartest, funniest, and best husband in the world. Okay, so I figure you probably threw up and threw this letter away, but if you're still reading, just know that yes, I am weird, but I'm also trying to help someone. So, Although it might seem weird, you're actually helping me perform a valuable public service. Take pride in that, Tori. I sigh and slump back in my chair. And what is amiss today, mademoiselle? Maria asks from behind me. I'd been so focused on my letters that I hadn't even heard her come in. Do you miss your husband? More with every second, I say with a sigh. Was that who you were writing to? She asks, but I just shake my head. No, but I should write him a letter. I pause as I look at her, an idea suddenly forming in my mind. Mariette, will you help me with something? Bien sûr, she replies automatically. What do you need? This is probably going to be the strangest thing you've ever heard me ask. I begin slowly, but there might be a girl here with a weird mark on her stomach. If she does have a weird mark on her stomach, I need to know about it. Mariette frowns at me. And how do you think I could uncover such a thing? Well, you dress me, I offer. If I offer to let you dress the other girls, it might work. I know Jessie has always been going on about fashion. It shouldn't be hard to rope her in at all. There's Ermengarde. I feel like the best way to approach her is just to straight up ask her. I have no idea what I'm going to do about Lavinia, but I don't want it to be Lavinia anyway, so I guess that doesn't matter. Mariette frowns at me. Such a mark might be extremely personal. Why do you need to find this girl? Someone is looking for her, I explain. She's probably not even here, but there was I don't know. Someone was kidnapped as a baby and has a weird birthmark on their stomach or something like that. They're about my age and they suspect that she might have ended up in a European boarding school. The odds that she's here are slim to none, but I said I'd at least look. Mariette nods. I am in no position to offer my services to anyone but you, she says at length. But if you require me to attend to one of Miss Minchin's other students, it would be discourteous of me to refuse. I can't help but smirk at her. Thank you, Mariette.